That's my fault, I do apologise.
She did just tell me, Harriet.
I did, I'm so sorry. You'll learn to know I'm terrible with names. So.
That one.
Okay. So, good afternoon everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you. My name's Jessica Chapper and I'm joined by colleagues Catherine and Henrietta, and I want to talk to you about project delivery in the Department for Education and why it's especially powerful and rewarding for fast streamers. Project delivery is where ambition meets reality. It's where policy becomes programs, funding becomes turned into outcomes, and ideas are tested in the real world. So, if you want responsibility, enjoy problem solving, and want to see tangible impact of your work, then project delivery in the Department for Education is a good place to be. Talk about that bit. So, my face writ large on screen. So I'm head of the project delivery profession, deputy head of the project delivery profession even in the Department for Education, and I'm also the project delivery lead for PE and school sports partnerships. You've got my accreditations on the bottom there. My role as deputy head of project profession sits at the heart of how we build capability and support our people in the Department for Education and deliver some of the most important programs across government. I'll give you a short overview of who we are, the scale of what we deliver, and why DfE is a brilliant home for project delivery fast streamers. I'll then hand over to Henrietta, who's going to talk about our wonderful L&D offer, and then to Catherine, who share what life is really like as a fast streamer working in the Department for Education. So, the Department for Education is the Department for the Department for Opportunity. Everything we do is focused on improving life chances from early years in schools to apprenticeships, skills and higher education. Our mission is about social mobility and equality of opportunity, helping everyone, regardless of background, to reach their potential. Project delivery plays a critical role in making that mission real. Whether we're building schools, reforming childcare or transforming services, it's our projects and programs that turn policy ambition into outcomes felt by children, young people, families and communities across the country. For fast streamers, that means your work very quickly connects to real people and to outcomes. So the major project landscape. DfE has one of the most varied and complex project portfolios in government. So whilst we are small, we deliver a mix of major infrastructure and construction programs like the school rebuilding program and the early years childcare reform. Some of our programs sit in the government major project portfolio, while many others are high value, high impact projects worth tens and in some cases hundreds of millions of pounds. For fast streamers, this means exposure to complexity early on, different delivery methodologies, access to senior stakeholders and delivery of national priorities. It's not hypothetical case studies, but live delivery. So, in the Department for Education, we have a vibrant project delivery profession. We are incredibly proud of our project delivery profession in the department. Independent assurance reviews have recognised the significant investment we make in developing our people and the strong progress we've made in capability building. We invest just under £1 million a year in learning and development for project delivery, from apprenticeships and fast stream entry points right through to senior leadership roles and to senior responsible officers. But just as important as in the investment is the culture, one that values learning, challenge, curiosity and support. This is a profession where it's safe to ask questions and expected that you keep developing through your personal and professional career. But don't just take my word for it. I'm delighted to say that the Department for Education won the Advancing the Project Delivery Profession Award at the recent Government Project Delivery Profession Awards 2026. So, I've got to say low, this is a slide, but it's low. For the 2026 fast stream cohort, we're offering a low bid year one role offer, but it's high quality and a strong development opportunity. Roles will be based in London, Manchester, Sheffield or Coventry, giving flexibility while still connecting you to nationally significant work. Wherever you're based, you'll be part part of a national project delivery community working on programmes that shape the education system for millions. We talked about office attendance for the Department of Education, it's 60%, and I would totally endorse you being in the office, because this is where you learn from your peers and from your team, and also access to senior leaders. Your impact in the Department for Education just isn't localised, it's national. Oops. So the Year 1 Project Support Officer roles. All of our Year 1 fostering roles are Project Support Officer roles. You'll work closely with project managers and senior stakeholders to keep projects on track, applying best practice and supporting effective decision making. That might sound really structured, but in practice we're very flexible. We tailor responsibilities to support your development and stretch you at the right pace, expose you to areas that align your strengths and interests. This is about building strong project delivery fundamentals while giving you meaningful responsibility from day one. So the potential placements within the Department for Education is working in the Families First Partnership Programme or on the Regional Improvement for Standards and Excellence Programme, but both of those have you'll be part of, you'll not just observe delivery, you will be part of it. So what can you expect in terms of support? Oops, keep pressing the wrong button, silly me. In the Department for Education, support is a real strength for us. Fast streamers in DfE benefit from a really strong support offer that ranges from teach-ins, community learning events, and an open culture that encourages questions. You will have access to mentoring, coaching, shadowing opportunities, and professional networks and community of practice. Not just professional networks, but there are also networks for protected characteristics and points of interest. You'll be part of the wider fast stream community alongside a dedicated and welcoming project delivery profession that genuinely wants you to succeed. We value questions, reflection and learning, and that's especially important for your first years in government. I'm going to hand over to Henrietta that's going to talk through our L&D offer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. So, well, your core learning will come from a central fast stream offer. Being in the Department of Education, we're here to help you make the most of that. So we've got a dedicated learning and development team who can advise on the qualifications that will best align with your role. So when you get to choose your qualification through the central offer, we can support you and also put you in touch with people who've done them before. We also offer some really great hands-on simulators and tailored workshops, so they make sure that it's bringing the learning to life. You're not just learning the theory side of things, but you're actually being able to apply it in realistic scenarios in practice as well. That's complemented by our self-directed learning offer on ILEX as well, which I think was mentioned earlier. So that platform offers lots of bite-sized sessions. There's over 80 on there on all sorts of different topics, and in DfE that's accessible to anyone at any time. And if you choose to stay with DfE after the fast stream, we have a wide range of accredited courses on offer, as well as leadership courses and chartership opportunities. So if you do end up with us at DfE, we're a department that will actively support, challenge and invest in you.
Hi, so now I'm going to talk a bit about my experience as a fast streamer. So currently I'm in the Further Education Workforce Division, and this division brings together a bunch of projects that are trying to support a manifesto commitment to strengthen the workforce in further education, so college teachers, leaders and also support staff. And this is actually a policy team, so with this experience I have the opportunity to see how that policy is developed and then actually deliver it. And as well as that, being a project delivery professional in the policy team means that people have a lot of trust in me, which is at times quite daunting, but it does give a lot of opportunities to suggest ideas and to try and get them included. I think also, as we touched on, DfE unsurprisingly promotes a lot of learning, and so there are lots of opportunities that you can access as a project delivery fast streamer. So some of those aren't just project delivery related, but all of them together help to enrich your experience at DfE. So for instance, I've had the chance to do cover in private office working for Minister Jackie Smith. I've also had the chance to go to several colleges and see what it's like. And in one case that was seeing the grants that I managing be put into action to see the training those teachers are getting. But another time, it was just 3 days in a college, learning how colleges work. And they're very complex, and as someone who didn't go through further education, it was such a big learning experience. And it was also just very rewarding to see what I am doing in the office and seeing that impact outside. So I've got to say, like, that opportunity mission was a massive reason why I joined the classroom, and at DfE, I would say I could get to see that. So thank you so much for listening. Do you have any questions? Yeah, at the back.
Yeah, sorry, it's me again, sorry about that. One question that I had is, education might be quite unique because the target stakeholder, different areas might not even know, they might not fully be able to articulate what they want when you're particularly dealing with younger children. And, you've got complex sort of debates around education with teachers, all these sort of academics, so on. So from a project delivery perspective, how does that sort of wider political discourse filter into our work? And as a far streamer, will I get sort of exposure to that in my, in my daily tasks? I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, one thing as well. Sorry. As an elaboration on it, I think you just read everywhere that defence, energy, etc., getting much higher budgets, and education might be, you have to make do with, a little bit less money. How do you do that as well? So any thoughts on that? Sorry, that was not very coherent. I know.
So just briefly, I'll talk a bit about my experience. So as I said, I've been to the colleges, and while I was there, I was interacting with teachers and leaders, also stakeholders from the local area, and to some of the students. And obviously with colleges, it's a bit of a different experience where the vast majority of students are over 16, so it's a bit different. And there is definitely an awareness that the department needs to talk to people who are being affected by the policy. And a lot of the time there's a lot of engagement with different people. Like earlier today I was in a meeting and I was asking, what have you heard from the teachers that you were just training? And so we are trying to get that intel, and it happens in lots of different ways. In terms of the budget, I might pass over to someone else for that one.
It's a really interesting question because of what we're saying about the size of budgets. Some of the projects I've worked on before have been £2 billion and £1 billion, and they've been absolutely huge projects with huge financial responsibilities. But you treat every project, whether the size of the budget is in its hundreds of thousands to a billion, the same. You treat it with care. You deliver to time, cost, quality. So whilst it might not have super amounts of money, there's still big money involved here, and ultimately it's using that to get the best outcomes for children, young people and families. So, I don't know how else to answer that one.
Yeah, I believe education is one of the biggest departments because of data. So all the money that goes into schools, colleges, further education.
Yeah, so it's not just the ones that have been run for projects, it's the people pay for pupils, anything in terms of the meals for the education sector, but it's also what's being paid into building the school system as well, and as I've talked about, the construction to build schools.
Anything else?
Final chance.
Yeah, please. Is there one there? Oh, you've got 1 minute. 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Is very quickly. You mentioned obviously there are some very large budget projects going on, and I'm sure there are consequently also lots of small budget projects going on. Is there a degree of sort of proportionality when it comes to project management? If you're dealing with amounts in the billions, is it consequently a much more developed or larger, more complex project management task than a smaller one?
Complexity is not linked to size of budget, it's the size and scale of what's being delivered. Because in terms of where I've worked on projects that's been in the hundred thousands and worked on ones that's been billions. It's managed in exactly the same way. It's just a lot more money and a lot more scrutiny. But it's depending on what the outcomes have been delivered and the realisation of benefits. So it's been really clear up front of what the outputs and outcomes are and how those benefits are going to be realised, that we can show value for money and that we're delivering value for money through managing public money, because there's lots of projects that's got lots of billions of pounds attached to them, but we have to show how that is taxpayers' money is being spent. So it's more than a complexity, so you can have smaller budgets, but it could be a really complex project that you're delivering. So complexity is around the maturity of what you're trying to deliver, the policy that's been trying to deliver, and all the moving parts within that. But essentially, it's the same project delivery, delivering to time, cost, quality.
Thank you very much.